In this tutorial, we will be making a 4-pixel machine learning based classifier that is able to differentiate patterns like solid if the 4 pixels are the same color, vertical, diagonal, or horizontal. The architecture of the network we will build is strongly inspired from this Brandon Schroeder's video that I will link in the description. I strongly recommend watching it first, as it contains all the machine learning knowledge required to tag along. We will use PyTorch, but first I will showcase how to install it and call it from inside of Houdini. I recommend grabbing a Python 3 version of Houdini, and take note of the version of Python that is currently shipped with it. We will need to install the same version separately in order to grab the matching libraries. I recommend using pipe to install PyTorch by copy-pasting that line into a shell. If you want to use your GPU to train your neural network, you will need to install the CUDA driver as well as the CUDNN libraries, which are a bit tricky to install, as you will need to paste them directly into the CUDA folder. You can check if everything is working by opening a new Python shell and importing Torch. If you have some issue using your GPU, you might need a CUDA path environment variable, and even if you don't use your GPU, you will need a Python path environment variable pointing to the side packages, so that Houdini can import Torch. Now you should be able to import Torch from Houdini's Python shell and any Houdini script node. The first step will be to build a dataset that we will use to train our neural network. The dataset will be made of data points. They will each have an input array, the data that we feed to the neural network, and the output array, the data that we expect from the neural network. We modelize the 4-pixel camera using a 4-primitive grid, and we will color the primitive of that grid for each pattern that we want. I will merge all the patterns together and pack them using the assemble node, so we have only 4 points to manipulate, and for the moment I will offset them based on the Pythium, so we can see them clearly. I will now create my output array. It will be an array of length 4, initialized at 0, and I will flip one of those values to 1, depending on the Pythium. We also need the complementary value of those patterns, so I will use the unpack node to unpack the grids. I will flip the CD attribute using a primitive angle, before assembling it again. After merging everything together, you can see that we have 8 grids. Each pattern appears 2 times, and I will put down the enumerate node to generate the variant attribute, because we will use the copy to point with the variant option to generate our data points. We generate 400 points using the grid node, and we use a point wrangle to put down the variant attribute on the points using the Pythium. To make the dataset less repetitive, we can randomize the point order. Next, we apply noise to the dataset to avoid building a neural network that can only tackle the perfect case scenario. We unpack the grid and use the primitive wrangle to apply a noise to the CD attribute. We want to either add or subtract the noise based on the color of the primitive to keep all the value between 0 and 1. Using the for loop, I will isolate each grid, and I will build the input array. The input array will be of length 4, where each value contains the color of a different pixel. After packing the grid using the class attributes, and make sure that the input array finish on the points, and I will get back the output array from the copy to points. So now each point of our dataset has the input array and a matching output array. Now that we have our dataset, I will showcase how to transfer those Houdini attributes into a data model that Python understands. I start by dropping down a Python script node and opening the shell. Everything we print inside the script will appear in the shell. I import the num library and inspect how many points I have in my geometry. I will use that number to initialize the input array at 0. I will also initialize the output array of the same shape. After that, I will iterate on each point. I will inspect the value of the input and output attributes and store those values inside the input and output array. Right now we are not creating any attributes, and at the end of the Python script the data is flushed, so if you want to check that everything is working, we can sample the arrays and print the value inside the shell. We are now ready to start to build and train our neural network. We start by importing some additional libraries related to PyTorch. We will also rename the NumPys array, because PyTorch doesn't actually use NumPys array. We will need to convert them into tensors, which is a similar data model, with some additional tools. We can now start defining the structure of our neural network. In PyTorch, a neural network is a class that inherits from the NN module, and in the init function, we define the different layers of our neural network. We start with the first layer, which will be a fully connected one that we will call linear in. It's a layer that takes 4 values as input and gives 4 values as output. The second layer is also a fully connected one that we will call linear 1, and it multiplies the number of hidden units by 2. We will also define a linear rectifier, and finish with the last layer, which takes back the number of hidden units by 4, which will be the dimension of the output. We also define the forward function, which defines what happens when you give data to the neural network. In our case, we just want to push the data through each layer, and at the end we just return the output. We can now start defining the closure function, which is what happens at each step of the training. At each iteration we want to reset the optimizer, and we want to push data through the network before comparing the output and the expected output. And finally we want to propagate the loss backward before returning the loss. I will now actually create the neural network, as well as a criterion that will define how to compare the output and the expected output when computing the loss, and I will create an optimizer that will define how to tweak the weights. We can now start our training process. I will push the data through the neural network and adjust the weight 4 times, and each time I will print the loss. One thing to remember is that PyTorch expects the data to be encoded in a specific precision, so we will convert the NumPy array using float32. As you can see, each time we compute our neural network, we get different loss. So it's important to save the model with an iteration that we like. To do that, we sample our NumPy array with one value, and we will record the trace of that value as we push it through the neural network using torch.g.trace. We can save that trace to the disk, and we will load it each time we need a prediction. We will now test our model with a set of data that he has never seen before. We will change the seed of the dataset as well as the seed of the noise that we are applying to it. We will also get rid of the output attribute because we will request the model to give us a prediction of it. I recreate an output array with all the value initialized at 0, and inside the Python script node, I will get rid of everything until the moment where we load the input array as a tensor. Using g.load, I will load the model, and I will push the data through the model and convert it back to NumPy. I will then iterate through each point, and I will set the output array using the prediction. As you can see, the output array right now is not a 1 and 0 like we were expecting. It's more like a probability of being this or this pattern. What we can do is take a decision based on that probability, like running it up and down, and then put down a label on each point based on that decision. You can click on the attribute to visualize the prediction in the viewport, and as you can see, our neural network was correctly able to estimate the pattern of each grid.